Hi everyone and welcome back to another lesson with Moments with Chemistry. And today we're going to continue with 2018 English Medium Advanced Level Chemistry MCQs. And today we hope to complete from questions 21 to 30. Okay, we'll go for question number 21. A system consisting of two rigid containers containing an ideal gas is shown in the diagram. The containers can be connected to each other by opening the tap. The system changes from configuration A to configuration B when the tap is opened. In general, N, P, V and T represent the number of moles, pressure, volume and temperature respectively. Okay, now the configuration before opening of the tap is something like this. We have P1, V1, T1 and N. And on the other side we have P2, V2, T2 and N. And after you have opened your tap, this is P3, so this also will be P3, this is T3, this is T3. This is when the tap is closed and the second one is when the tap is open. Okay, which of the following statements or relations is correct regarding this system? Okay, now you know that we have N moles of ideal gas into this, N moles of ideal gas into this. When we open the tap, there is no any chemical reaction that takes place. So since there is no any chemical reaction that takes place, the total number of moles within this system should be 2N. The total number of moles initially should be equal to the total number of moles finally. Okay? You know that it is an ideal gas. So the ideal gas equation PV equal to nRT is completely applicable here. The ideal gas equation PV equal to nRT is completely applicable here. So number of moles of gas initially equal to number of moles of gas finally. Okay. Initial number of moles. As you can see, none of the answers given talks about N. Now whatever the answer that is given 5, you have to always try to build up a mathematical relationship after having carefully studied the pattern of the answers. Looking at the answers only we can see whether it's correct or wrong. Okay. So here N is not included in any of the answers. So here if you have the subject N equal to PV over RT. Okay. For this bulb, for this bulb P1 V1 over RT1 plus, then for this bulb P2 V2 over RT2 equal to, for this bulb P3 V1, this also has volume V1, this also has volume V2. You can assume that when the tap is open, since it's a rigid container, there is no fluctuation in volume. Okay. So P3 V1 over RT3 plus P3 V2 over RT3. Okay. Now, I think I have to erase the one on top so that more questions can be done. Okay, now look at this. Everywhere R get cancelled. So if R gets cancelled at everywhere in the left and right side of the equation, P1 V1 over T1 plus P2 V2 over T2 equal to P3 V1 over T3, or you can even take T3 as common here. T3 P3, okay, you can even take P3 common. Before that we'll try it the other way. P3 V1 plus P3 V2. Okay. Now P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. What can you say about that? Is it actually true? Is it actually true? P1 for this equation, P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. No, why? Temperature changes. So therefore, first one is wrong. Look at the fourth one, P1 T1 equal to P2 T2. Anyways, if it had to come as P1 over T1 equal P2 over T2. And since volumes are also changing, we cannot take that also as an answer. Here, P1, look at the third one, T1 over P1 equal to T2 over P2. Now this is like P1 over T1 equal P2 over T2. But we cannot use the relationship because V1 and V2 are different. If V1 and V2 were the same, we could have used it. But we can't here. So either answer should be either 2 or 5. We'll try to take this T3 to one side of the equation and see what happens. Okay. T3, I'm taking it to one side of the equation. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is, okay, here P1 V1 T2 plus P2 V2 T1 by T3, by T1 T2 equal to P3 V1 plus P3 V2 over T3. Okay. What did I do here? I just solved this. Now, I need T3, no, whatever the side of the equation. Now what can I do? I bring the T there, this one down. So T3 equal to here T1 T2 P3 V1 plus P3 V2 T1 T2 divided by, from these two equations we cannot take anything common, T2 plus P2 V2 T1. Okay, now we have to now mingle up with the answers. We better have to mingle up with the answers. So can you see here, if I divide the entire equation up and down by T1 T2, what will happen here? P3 V1 plus P3 V2 divided by, I have to divide this one by T1 T2, this one by T1 T2. So this also should have been divided by T1 T2. Eventually you are getting this same one here. Okay, that is T3. But none of the answers that have been given to us clearly talks about this T3. So what can we do? Okay, we can think like this. Now, T1 also should be there, T2 also should be there. But can you see in the answers we have to try to eliminate this V2 or V1 in terms of V2. Okay, how can we do that? Now look at this equation. From this equation I have to try to eliminate V. Okay, I am eliminating V. If I divide the entire equation by V1, I am left with P3 T1 T2 plus P3 V2 over V1 into T1 T2 divided by P1 T2 plus. Okay, so what have I done here? I have just applied the ideal gas equation. So I need V2 over V1. So V2 over V1, okay, P2 V2 over P1 V1, first equation, second equation divided by first equation, N cancel, RR cancel, T2 over T1, then V2 over V1 equal to P1 over P2 into T2 over T1. Okay, I try to bring it here. P3 T1 T2 plus P3 into P1 by P2 into T2 by T1 into T1. T1 can cancel. Divided by, this should be done carefully, divided by, here, P1 T2 plus P2 into P1 over P2 into T2 over T1 into T1. Okay. P2 into this ratio into T1. Okay. P2, T1. So this is P1, T2. So same equation. Now see how the equation has become more and more easier for us. So on the top side I can take P2. Now top it's like this. Now I can take P2 there. P2, P3, T1, T2 plus P1, P3, T2. Okay. Okay. Divided by P1, T2 plus P1, T2. I think here, look at this one. P3 into, this has been, here how did I substitute up? P3 into, instead of V2 over V1 I put P1 over P2 into T2 over T1 into T1, T2, that's a T2. So this is T2 squared. Okay, this is T2 squared. Okay. Equal to what? P3. So this is 2, no? So P1, T2, 2 P1, T2. So I can write this P2, P3, T1, T2 plus P1, P3, T2 squared divided by 2 into P1, T2, T3. So this 2 I can take it here. If I divide each one by P1, T2. Look at this P1, T2, I am left with what here? Here what I am left with P1, T2, P1, T2, P3, T2. Here P1, T2, T2, P2, P3, T1 over P1 equal 2T3. So 2T3 equal to 2T3 equal to P3 T1 over P1 into P3 T2 over, okay. Again what they have done is, they have taken this P2 here, which means same again the equation they have divided by P2. Here initially it was P2, so if I divide this by P2, P2 get cancelled, so the P2 can come here. So this is the correct one. So see, just for one MCQ, we have to mingle up with mathematics so much. So questions like this, if you are a witty person, you have to bring this question towards the last few questions of your paper. You don't have to do the paper according to the order that's provided to you. You can do it in any order. So this particular question, you have to allocate the time to do this question only towards the end. Okay. So this is the answer. So your answer for question number 21 is answer number 2. 21, answer is answer number 2. Okay, 22. Which of the following statements are false with regard to 3D block elements of the periodic table? Atomic radii is smaller than the atomic radii of S block of the element in the same period. Why? As you go across the period, atomic radius decreases. Why? Number of shells doesn't change, but the number of protons increases due to increase in atomic number. So therefore, the attraction between the nucleus and the outermost electron increases. So therefore, the size decreases. That's correct. Densities are higher than the densities of S block elements in the periodic table. Now look at that. What is density? You can even pause the video and copy this. So what is density? Density equal to mass over volume. You know that as you go across a period, size decreases means volume decreases, but mass increases, so therefore density should increase. Okay. B2O5, CrO3 and Mn2O7 are acidic oxide. Yes. Higher the oxidation state, higher will be the electronegativity. If the electronegativity is higher, the affinity a particular atom has towards attraction of electron in a bond towards itself is higher. So therefore, acidity is higher. So if you look at B2O5, plus 5 is the maximum oxidation state that vanadium can possess. So therefore, it should be the acidic one. CrO3 is plus 6, Mn2O7 is plus 7. Okay. first ionization energies are less than the first ionization energy of the s block element in the same period. False, no. As you go across the period, there is a gradual substantial increase in the first ionization energy. Why? Because the attraction between the nucleus and the outermost electron increases. So therefore the amount of energy that we should provide externally in order to remove that loosely bound electron will be higher. Why? He is pulling more and more. We want to take him out. So it's very tough. The most common oxidation state of cobalt in cobalt compounds are +2 +3. That's direct theory. So therefore 22, your answer will be answer number 4. 22 answer is answer number 4. Okay. Standard Gibbs energy change for the reaction MO solid giving you MS solid and half O2 gas at two different temperatures are given below. Okay. Actually we don't need this equation. Look at this. Delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S. You know that delta S and delta H are parameters that are independent of temperature. So whatever the temperature you have, what will happen? They should remain the same. Delta H and delta S will remain the same irrespective of changes in temperature. So first situation, minus 100.2 kilojoule per mole for delta G equal to delta H minus 1000 into delta S. Then minus 148.6 kilojoule per mole delta H minus 2000 delta S. Question is asking us entropy change, that is delta S. So delta S, how can you find? Delta S, now for example, I don't know. For example, okay, first equation minus the second equation, that is 148.6, that is plus 148.6 minus 100.2 equal to, this 2 will go. Then first equation is minus 1000 S minus 1000 delta S minus 2000 delta S. So this is plus 2000, so this is 1000 delta S. Delta S. So this is 4840. So your answer for delta S will be 48.4. So delta S equal to 48.4 into 10 to the power minus 3. But what is the units? Kilojoules. Kilojoule per mole per Kelvin. That is 48.4 joule per mole per Kelvin. Okay. So your answer for question number 23 is answer number 5, 48.4 joule per mole per Kelvin. What did we do? We took two different situations and just minus the two equations. Simultaneous, O-level simultaneous equation, huh? Okay. Which of the following represents a correct step in the mechanism of nitration of benzene with conc HNO3 and conc H2SO4? Okay, first of all we look at that. You know, whenever you write a mechanism for organic question, there are preliminarily three things that you should consider. First one, formation of an electrophile or the nucleophile. Number 2, attack done by the electrophile or the nucleophile, and third one is resonance. So if you consider HNO3 is something like this. Okay, this is HNO3, then H2SO4, this is H2SO4. Both of them react to give you NO2 plus and HSO4 minus and water. So they have asked for normal benzene. So if you take normal benzene, NO2 plus, we have attacking like this. Then look at it carefully. This will be plus, this will be NO2, and this will be H. Here we have to write HSO4 minus, then you are not given marks. If this is a essay, you have to write HSO4 minus, because HSO4 minus, it acts as a catalyst. So in each and every single step, it is mandatory that you go and write HSO4 minus. Next one. And the final resonance structure. Final resonance structure is this. Now what happens? Here also you have to write HSO4 minus. Here also you should write HSO4 minus. Then this structure, H and NO2. Then HSO4 minus comes and attacks here. This removes, giving you only a nitrated benzene, but with the adhikecule. Nitrated benzene with adhikecule, H2SO4 and water. Water from this. NO plus, here NO plus, here water, here HSO4 minus. That is how this reaction, this particular first reaction has taken place. So according to your answers given, the correct step is this step. Actually they have shown in the paper. This is the step that they have shown. So your answer for question number 24 will be answer number 4. Question number 24, your answer will be answer number 4. We'll see why the others are wrong. Look at the first one. NO2 never gives the electrons. Electrons are withdrawn from benzene. Why? NO2 is deactivated. So first one is wrong. Second one, NO2 will attach if no two same hydrogen bonds will be cleaved. When will two same hydrogen atoms will be cleaved? Only if you use Raney nickel. We'll have two hydrogens attached to one carbon. But here one is hydrogen, one is NO2. So that's also wrong. The next one, your resonance structure is wrong. Fourth one is correct. Fifth one, actually the initial molecule is wrong. Okay, so your answer for question number 24 will be answer number 4. 24 answer in answer number 4. 25. It's also an organic, but although this seems to be a very easy organic, it assesses your ability and your knowledge on all organic compounds. You'll see this. Look at this. Here COOH, here CH2, CH2, COCH3. Okay. Now if we put NaBH4 followed by acidic hydrolysis, you know that here ketone will get dissociated or reduced. It's a nucleophilic addition reaction, CH2, CH2, COH, HCH3, but nothing will happen to carboxylic acid. If you need to reduce carboxylic acid, lithium aluminium hydride is compulsory. You can't do it with NaBH4. Why? Carboxylic acid is the greatest acidic one. So whatever we have, now for example, if you need to fight with a wrestler and win, you should be someone who is equal to a wrestler. You should have the strength that is equal to a wrestler. Same thing is here. Carbon dioxide is very acidic. So we need someone who has the strength to come and attack carboxylic acid with the same strength that is equivalent to that of carboxylic acid. So NaBH4 is a very weak one, we know, very weak one. So therefore here only COOH, it will just remain. Then CH3MgBr, then CH3MgBr. What will happen? Okay. Reaction sequence X and Y. Okay, first we'll see X value. X is either 1 or 3 or 4. Okay. 1, 3, 4. X is 1, 3, 4. Then we are actually adding here what? A Grignard. So Grignard, you know, this OH will react with this Grignard, although it's a very minor reaction. Here see CH2, CONGBr, here CH3, here H. And the carboxylic acid, what will happen? Will carboxylic acid react with Grignard? Yes, why? COOH. But since OH is there, you can have an OMGBr here. OMGBr. You can have an OMGBr here. Okay. Why? Carboxylic acid has OH group, so therefore OMGBr can come here. Okay. That's that. 26. When ammonium carbonate, ammonium dichromate and ammonium nitrate are heated, the nitrogen containing compounds that are produced. Now this is directly from inorganic, and you know that inorganic is something that should be memorized. So NH4 twice CO3, NH4 twice CO3, if you decompose it, you are going to get ammonia 2 and carbon dioxide and water. Then NH4 twice Cr2O7, if you decompose it, you get N2 plus Cr2O3 plus 4 water. Then NH4NO3, if you decompose it, first you write water, then it's easy to balance. N2O. So these are the nitrogen containing compounds. Ammonia, N2N, N2O. Ammonia, N2N, N2O. Answer is answer number 3. 26, your answer will be answer number 3. 27. Which of the following would occur soon after connecting a rod of zinc and a rod of Ag immersed in a saturated solution of AgCl, AgCl solid kept in a beaker as shown in the diagram by conductor. So given a standard reduction potential of zinc is minus 0.76 and that of Ag is 0.8. You know that looking at the two values, if the standard reduction potential is greater, the ability of the metal to undergo reduction is greater. So you know that Ag will undergo reduction, so giving more and more Ag deposits, so the other partner should undergo oxidation, which means Zn giving you Zn2 plus 2 electrons. So Zn should dissolve, Ag should be produced by, it's undergoing reduction. And what will happen to AgCl? Since Ag is more, AgCl amount will, what will happen? Look at this. This is the reaction that is taking place pertaining to Ag. So what will happen here? This way, more and more the reaction is favored. The amount of Ag plus that is there in the solution should reduce, no? You know AgCl will give you Ag plus and Cl minus. So if this reaction is to be favored more and more, Ag should be removed from the system. So therefore Ag is removed more and more from the system, which means AgCl dissolves. Okay. So 27, your answer is answer number 1. For question number 27, your answer is answer number 1. Okay, question number 28. It's also a very easy organic question. In the reaction sequence given below, the structures of P and Q respectively are C6H5, C triple bond CH. You are reacting it with Hg2 plus and diluted H2SO4. So this is addition of water, you know, except for Hc triple bond CH, others all are going to give you ketone. So this is C6H5 COCH3. Then ZnHg concave Cl. This is Clemenson's reduction. So ketone will completely go into the alkane. C6H5 CH2CH3. So your answer should be the fourth one. So your answer for question number 28 is answer number 4. Okay, 29. It's directly from industrial. Which of the following is incorrect regarding polymers? Bakelite is thermosetting polymer. Yes. Why? Even if you increase the temperature of bakelite, there will be no deformation in the three-dimensional structure. Then only a particular polymer is known as thermosetting. So bakelite and urea formaldehyde are the two thermosetting polymers that are done under the new syllabus. Okay, so that's correct. Teflon is thermoplastic. Yes. If you increase the temperature of Teflon, there will be deformation in Teflon. That is true. Nylon 6,6 is formed by the addition polymerization between 1,6-diaminohexane and hexene dioic acid. You know, to form nylon, we should have diamino acid and dicarboxylic acid. But dicarboxylic acid is correct, but it's not diaminohexane. It should be a diamine. So that's wrong. So 29, your answer is answer number 3. But fourth one, pterylene is formed by condensation of polymerization between ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. Actually in the new syllabus it's not there, but it's correct. Natural rubber consists of cis polyisoprene molecules or chains. Yes. So third one is wrong. Why? To form nylon we should have diamino acid and we should have a dicarboxylic acid and diamine. So since only one amine is there, diaminohexane, which means it should be a It should be ethane. That's wrong, no? So your answer for question number 23 will be answer number 3. Sorry, 29, your answer will be answer number 3. Okay, 30, it's to do with rates. Experiment was carried out to find the order with respect to S2O3 of the reaction S2O3 2 minus aqueous plus 2H plus aqueous, giving you H2O liquid plus sulfur dioxide gas plus sulfur solid. The initial rate of the reaction was measured by adding different volumes of 1 mole per cubic decimeter S2O3 in a solution of an acid. H plus concentration of the reaction mixture was kept constant, but the total volume V was allowed to vary. Which of the following relations regarding the initial rate of the reaction is correct? Okay. Now, let's say in one trial, what happens? You know that rate equal to K into S2O3 2 minus aqueous concentration into M into H plus aqueous concentration to the power 1. But since they are given that this is a constant, I can rearrange this as R equal to K dash. This constant, I am incorporating it into this rate constant. S2O3 2 minus aqueous to the power M. So R should be directly proportional to S2O3 2 minus aqueous to the power M. So number of moles of S2O3 2 minus aqueous is 0.01 over 1000. If this is there in simple V, how much is there in capital V? That is into 1000 to the power M. This and this get cancelled, so that is equal to 0.01 simple V over capital V to the power M. You know that 0.01, this is for K dash, no? 0.01 is a numerical constant. So if I remove this 0.01 numerical constant, this will become K double dash. So R will be directly proportional to simple V over capital V to the power M. R directly proportional to simple V over capital V to the power M. So for question number 30, your answer is answer number 1. Question number 30, your answer is answer number 1. So this marks the end of our third session with Moments with Chemistry 2018 paper. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment and press the bell notification so that you will be notified with our future videos. Stay tuned for more and thanks for all your support. Thank you and stay safe.